Today is day 27 or 28. And we just got back from a really nice trip with the kids. We did a motorhome trip, spent 2 days on the beach, had a fire at night. It was lovely. And I definitely felt more inward throughout that time, a little bit sharper, like with my words and just my general intent, I guess. And today, once we got back, I felt really good to move and to unpack all of our things. And then the tunnel came in on me and I felt like foggy, like it was starting to fog up. And that's typically how I feel during this time, like when I'm approaching my inner winter, my bleed time. And in the book Wild Power, I believe I've entered the chamber of separation, the first out of 5 menstrual chambers. And the chamber of separation it happens typically 2 to 1 day before we start bleeding. And it's a very clear, I don't want to deal with people, or I need to be alone, or the fog starts coming in, or just some really clear call that I need to start tending to myself. And for me, usually it means I'm not really able to facilitate being of help to other people or being around people even. I start just really needing my own space, critically. So yeah, and thankfully I am at home by myself right now and gonna start making dinner. It's definitely not easy for me to pick up the camera sometimes. I think about, we'll let the real YouTubers do that. But I also really enjoy making videos, and if one day somebody rolls across my channel and maybe gets something out of it, that'd be amazing, that'd be awesome. So if that's you, please leave a comment, let me know. That feels funny to say. I guess it takes just a bunch of practice. And another thing is talking while doing things and talking to the camera. I often take videos for my own personal diaries, and it's easier talking just to myself than it is thinking someone's gonna see it. Hi, Annie.
Things smell good.
Yeah. I'm also filming a little bit.
Oh, where?
We are on a work trip. We're in a Soyuz right now, passing through here on our way to the Sunshine Coast to pick up a motorhome and quick stop here to look at a camper. That's what my partner does for work. And we get to travel all across BC and Alberta. Very, very blessed to live such a traveled life. Yeah, it's like the North American dream, traveling in an RV around the country. So on day 28, I could start bleeding any moment, or I might bleed tomorrow. I am feeling like I am in the tunnel. To me, that's what the chamber of separation, the first out of 5 chambers, feels like. It often feels like this tunnel is starting to squeeze in on my head, like these pressure walls are coming in, and I start feeling removed from the physical world and from people and conversation, and I get more, I just really need my own space. I get more irritable. And I also noticed that right around this time, right before I typically move into this chamber, I want to shop. I feel more inclined to window shop and look online and kind of think about the things I want and need. And it does feel, I don't know if you heard that, was a big shooting noise. Check out this lake, beauty. Yeah, the shopping feels definitely more like a filling of a void kind of feeling, like something that is more like fixing a craving. Yeah. And I look forward to bleeding soon, hopefully. The anticipation sometimes can like really add up. Like it kind of feels like I'm like filling up, like I'm like a dam and the water is pushing against the walls. And I just want to bleed and release, and it just feels like a build up. I'm sure you can relate if you're a woman who bleeds, that build up of tension and thoughts and ideas and worries and insecurities and all the things. So soon. Right, it's 6 in the morning and we're just getting on the ferry back to the mainland. Slept in the motorhome bed, napped there a little bit, but we got here last night at midnight, just past midnight, and then we slept in the motorhome, and now we're back to the mainland. So not a lot of sleep, but it's always an adventure, and it's such a beautiful morning. Well, it's day 29. Not there yet, but I can feel it. Something that happened yesterday while we were driving is I had a bit of an anxiety attack, actually. Driving, I just felt really unsafe, not because of my partner's driving at all, but just felt claustrophobic on the highway. You know, we're going into the city, it was a lot of traffic, and me being so close to my period, I just felt this overwhelm and all these like stories and like visions in my head of us getting into a crash and me losing the use of my legs and my partner dying. Oh my god, like down the rabbit hole, right? But so crisp in my emotional field and in my mental vision that like I started crying, and like I just couldn't kind of contain that anxiety once I voiced it and kind of felt through it and was able to calm myself down, and it was all good. But yeah, and that I noticed actually has happened before, right before my moon time, and this was when we were returning from Mexico. We were on the plane, and I had a similar anxiety attack landing, just afraid to crash. And yeah, so it's interesting to just kind of note this heightened sensitivity and a heightened perception of danger during this time of the month. All right, so we're in Kamloops now, and then we're gonna head home. But the amazing thing about this time of month for me is it's really bringing up actually a lot of healing, or showing me places that need healing still. I'm having just something coming up in this last cycle. And right now I really feel clarity around what I need to be able to move through it and allow myself the space to heal. And what I also want to ask of my partner to help facilitate that healing and the support that I want to request he can offer me for that. So it's just so beautiful to kind of reflect back onto this last month, this last cycle. You know, I'm about to start my bleed, and I'm kind of taking stock of this last month and looking at my life, reflecting on my life and where I'm at. And it's so beautiful. Every cycle there's something new. Sometimes it's the same stuff, but there's always this beautiful, gentle, sometimes fierce urging towards healing and towards loving new and old parts of me that want to be seen and be loved and be integrated. So yeah, it's nice to be open to that and be opening up to what but the whisperings of my cycle is trying to tell me. Also, my absolute favorite, yerba mate, the cranberry one. I'm actually addicted. All right, it's 6 in the morning. Next day, day 30. I'm not bleeding yet. I really look forward to the release. My digestion feels like backed up. I just feel like emotionally kind of exhausted. Yeah, I look forward to my period coming. We're on our way home now. We spent the night at a nice little lake, and we have about an hour and a half to get home, and then we get the kids and have our last summer break stint with the kiddos. So we'll go do something fun. It's here. Yay. I welcome it. I welcome the blood. Got cramps today. It came last night and the night, day 30 to 31. A bit later than usual, but that happens in my cycle. I'm usually very regular, 28 to 29 days, and then every once in a while it'll be a 30 or 31 cycle, and sometimes even a 27 cycle every so often. All right, here we are, chamber 2. I go by the wild power teachings. So now I'm in chamber 2, which is surrender. And I love this part because that's literally what my body asks of me with, the pain. And it just kind of feels like I can let everything go. I've set up my schedule so that I don't have to think about anything big or work related or take care of any responsibilities other than, being with the kids and spending time with family, but mostly also protecting and claiming that time and space for myself that I need during this sacred time. The work of Wild Power speaks of our menstrual cycle and our actual bleeding time to be almost like we're in a temple, and that's why it's called the chambers. So chamber 2, surrender. All right, we're headed to the beach, and when I bleed and I'm in my inner winter, I really just take it slow and not rushing. Like, I've taken the hurry out of my life, and especially during this inner temple time, just not hurrying is key. And me just being present with my body and my emotional state and my energy levels has made a huge difference in my health and my life. And so being aware of my cycle in this way and honoring my energy levels this way has just completely changed my life. Like, I don't rush or hurry anymore. I just take the preparations needed to make sure that I don't have to rush, have to hurry. And that just allows me to enjoy and be present and loving my body. It's a really interesting sensation. I actually feel patience, like a lot more patience and gentleness and easefulness. Day 1 right now, and I think it's really due to the patience, the love, and the space that I'm giving myself, so that I feel like I can extend it more to the kids and people around me. So that's really neat. Wow, babe, you're the snake whisperer. We are back home. It is day 2, and yeah, it's been really good. I feel a lot more energy than I normally do on day 2. And even yesterday on day 1, I did a lot of patience and like gentleness and even willingness to be around people. So yeah, that's a bit of a shift because I think usually it's more challenging for me to be, around people and doing things. So yeah, I have definitely come into chamber 3 and 4. Chamber 3 is renewal, and I always love that because it feels like this breeze of energy. Feels so peaceful and lovely. And then chamber 4, visioning. Something I'm noticing is that I'm able to see the bigger picture in things so much more during this time. And maybe that's why it's easier also parenting, because I see the bigger picture, and so the little stuff doesn't really get to me as much this time. So that's an interesting thing to note. And visioning, yeah, I see there's a part of me that really has received healing over this cycle, and I can see how there's excitement and possibility for, what does that energy that is now freed up, that used to be held in my body with this tension, where can it flow? How will it be freed? How will that feel? And so that's exciting. It's like new creation, and that feels really delightful. The next chamber 5, is clarity. And so that's gonna be typically it just means I know what next steps to take. And granted, I'm only on day 2, right? So I kind of oscillate between these different chambers. But yeah, like I said, I feel quite a bit more energy than normal. I'm actually consciously okay, rest, chill, relax, just be. There's also a flavor of wanting to escape a little bit, be distracted, and a bit of a wandering feeling, aimless. So yeah, I think just coming back into presence is gonna be good. And I'm gonna also just do what I want to do, which is probably watch a movie tonight, and also read my book and just relax. Day 3, I'm feeling really good. I read in the Course of Miracles this morning, and that just really connected me to Source, the universe, and yeah, visioning is definitely alive. It's chamber 4, visioning. I feel very connected to God and to my life and the healing that's taking place in my own life right now. I feel like I'm in the process, and I trust the process, and I know that I'll be guided into clarity when I'm ready for that. I always find that when I'm in my inner winter and right leading up to it, a few days prior to, my body always sweats way more, way more. And I need to focus on breathing so much more, but it really puts me in the focus. I just really gotta be in my zone and not push myself too hard. Keep the weights really moderate and light, but just focus on form and clearness of mind and body.